Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Head Codi. To my right, Swami George A. Ram. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Let's go into Spotlight. We're now headed into the last 4 games of the regular high school football season, and all the other sports too, with soccer and lacrosse. We're heading into playoffs all over the place. So let's look at the top rushers in football. Brooks Eastbum of Pine Ridge, 200 yards. Keegan Frazier of Knock, 130. Brock Borgo of undefeated Hampton, 126. Chris Hood of Newcastle, 111. Lance Slater of Butler, 104. Passing, Graham Hancock of Seneca Valley. He had 293 yards, and yet the Raiders got shut out by Central Catholic. Jaron Brickner of Beaver Falls, 250. Max Schnorr of Butler, 168. Eric Boer of Carn City, 164. Receiving, Micah Rupp of Carn City, 6 for 112 yards. Trey Singleton of Beaver Falls, 4 for 102. Brandon Ross of Seneca Valley, 5 for 86. Luke Lawson of Seneca Valley, 8 for 78. Ethan Treadle of Butler, 5 for 66. Mecky Clark of Beaver Falls, 4 for 60. And Aiden Lysick of Seneca Valley, 4 for 50. You hear all those numbers, all those names for Seneca Valley, and yet they got shut out.
I've never heard of 300 yards passing, no points.
And no points. And three outstanding receivers.
Red zone, you got to score.
Well, Graham did throw 2 interceptions that probably killed some drives. Let's go to our power rankings. 6A at the top, undefeated Mount Lebanon, followed by Central Catholic, Cannon Mac in there at 3rd, Seneca Valley 4th, and North Allegheny in at 5th, 3-3. When's the last time North Allegheny was 3-3 at this point of the season? Coming off a 51-20 trouncing at Mount Lebanon last week.
Yeah, we have not seen that, but we have not seen Mount Lebanon be this good either. And Campman, there's teams that are stepped up.
Yes.
Usually weren't as good.
Hey, the game of the week, guys, is Central Catholic at Mount Lebanon.
Yeah, I'll take Mount Lebanon. I really will. I'll stay with them.
I agree. Central Catholic's like the Alabama of 6A. They've won it how many times in the last 6 years? 4 times they've won the championship. And Cannon Mac, an interesting game at Seneca Valley.
Yeah. I told you I like Cannon Mac. I said all year they're the underrated team.
And
they're 4-2.
They're 4-2, and Seneca Valley's 4-2.
I take Seneca in that game.
I do too. I like Seneca's passing attack. I don't think you get 2 weeks in a row where you're going to throw the ball like that and get shut out. In 5A, undefeated Moon at the top, followed by now at number 2 for 3-3 Pine Richland. They've won 3 in a row. Gateway number 3, Penn Trafford number 4, North Hills number 5. And in 4A, it's Bell Vernon, Thomas Jefferson. Here comes Aliquippa, undefeated Hampton, 6-0, and McKeesport, 5-1. There are a lot of good teams in 4A.
Yeah, but Aliquippa's 3rd. You know there are a lot of good teams.
And in the City League champs, Westinghouse, 4-0. They'll be at Butler this Friday night. They bring up one of the best runners in the WPL in Harris. He averages 10 yards a rush. Their defense is pretty good. They've only given up 24 points in their 4 games. They've had 1 or 2 games canceled because of COVID. It'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, most times we don't know a lot about the City League. You know, they used to have some great teams. You know, I'm talking a long time ago.
Right.
But lately they have not.
They won back-to-back City League championships. I think they've won now 14 or 15 games in a row.
It sounds like they'll have some talent.
They could run the ball.
Absolutely.
And in 3A, it's Central Valley, undefeated, followed by North Catholic, Avonworth. Slippery Rock High School, still undefeated. They've had a couple games canceled because of COVID. Elizabeth Forward 5th. Hickory at Slippery Rock this Friday.
Yeah, that's a big game for the Rock. We've been on up there a long time, and this will be the first time if they could beat Sharon and Hickory and Grove City in the same year.
And in 2A, they're all undefeated. Stowe Rock, Sarah Catholic, Washington, Laurel, and Still Valley. I'm really interested. This Laurel every week, they're just putting a beating on everybody.
Laurel's loaded. They were loaded in junior high. They've been waiting for this team for a long time. They can run the ball down your throat.
Are they Farrell good?
No.
Okay.
No, nobody's Farrell good.
Farrell's undefeated.
Farrell's great. Yeah. Yes.
In 1A, back at the top, Clareton, followed by Rochester, Olsh, Bishop Canevin, and Leechburg. Clareton beat Canevin. This week, Leechburg will be at Bishop Canevin. Let's go to the PG girls soccer. In 4A, it's North Allegheny undefeated. Number 3 is Butler, also undefeated. Both have some ties. In 3A, it's Mars, number 1, Hampton, number 4. And in 2A, it's North Catholic. PG boys soccer, number 1. 4A, Seneca Valley, they are 10-0. In 3A, undefeated at number 2 is Hampton. And in PG girls volleyball, I do some research here. Number 1, they have ranked in 4A, Shaler, followed by North Allegheny at number 2 and Pine Richland third. So I'm wondering who knocked off the North Allegheny girls.
Yes, that's amazing.
And in 3A, number 1, Hampton, number 3, Freeport, and in 2A, number 1, North Catholic, number 5, Elwood City. And congratulations to the Knock girls tennis team. They won their 6th straight section title, led by the Greb sisters, Emily and Lindsay. They have not lost a section match since 2015.
The Grebs, huh?
Well, they've had a number of
I think they have a lot to do with it. Yes.
They have a number of sister combos
Yes.
down through the years. I don't know what they're doing there, but they've had a number of. This is like the 3rd set of sisters that have led them to championships. And imagine not losing a match in 6 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. You stub your toe once, it's not that unusual.
Girls field hockey, number 1 3A remains Pine Richland. Had a big win over North Allegheny last week, 3-1. How about senior Riley Rollerton? She's a Louisville recruit, 100 career goals, and then she added 4 more last week, including a hat trick. Whether you go to soccer or lacrosse or field hockey, to score 100 goals is quite an achievement.
That's how you get to Louisville. That's how you get the Division I scholarship or Division I money, whatever you get. And anybody out there, if you want to be good, pick the sport you want and work at it. You have a chance.
Let's go to our stories of the week. Guys, it's October, and look what's going on. You have college, high school, pro football, the baseball playoffs coming up, hockey starting in a week, the NBA starting, everything at one time. It's almost as if it seems like anymore everything's year-round.
Well, I think hockey and NBA start too early. I think the season's too long.
I agree with you.
I've said this forever. I know they want the money, and they get the money, but I'd rather have it that shortened.
There isn't a person, if you came up to them and said, when does college basketball start, that would know.
They don't even know.
Yeah.
How about that?
Hey, we come from a time when I remember the NBA used to be over in what? April, May?
Yes.
Somewhere
yes,
around
all
there.
the time.
Yeah.
Same
with
thing
8
with
teams
hockey.
over 3 series.
Everything's over now in the middle of June, if not
and
later.
It starts up right away,
Let's go to our stories of the week. The NFL, Green Bay 27, the Steelers 17. What Yogi Berra say? Deja vu all over again. The Steelers 1-3, last place in the AFC North. Everyone else is 3-1. Aaron Rodgers can make all the throws, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he ran 10 yards for a touchdown. His quarterback rating was 95. What helped him was Green Bay had 131 yards rushing, and I like what the coach LaFleur did. He took Aaron Jones out for a little bit, put in A.J. Dillon. Dillon had 81 yards, and Jones had 48. I still don't understand the Steelers riding and keeping Najee Harris. He's been in there. They've had 197 snaps this season. He's been on the field for 190 of them. No way this kid's going to make 17 games. I like him. He's hard-nosed. He's tough. But why isn't Tomlin spelling him off from time to time?
My guess, and it's only guess of mine, is that they don't trust the other backs. Their depth.
I agree with you.
Their depth
but
is
you
so
still
poor.
have to give the kid a break.
Oh, I know. I agree with that, but they don't want to take him out because the other guys are so lousy. That's what I see.
Ben was 26 of 40, 238 yards. He averaged only 5.8 yards a pass. TD and interception. His rating was 78. The Steelers have now lost 8 out of their last 10. Ben, now this is a trend through 4 games. He's missed wide open receivers. He just lacks that mobility. And then if I hear him say one more time, that's on me. It should be a song like Stand By Me. We understand it, but what I'm seeing here, you guys tell me what you think. I'm seeing similarities of what happened to Eli Manning. in his last few years with the Giants.
Well, Roethlisberger, he's done. There's no question about it. That's how bad their backups are. That's what I keep saying it.
Well,
I know
understand.
he's done, but also a combination of he's not the player he was. The offensive line stinks beyond.
Oh my God, they got shoved around.
Yes.
Someone said the offensive line looked much better. Did you guys see that?
No.
They never will either. They got.
I'm for the move. I know you're not gonna. I know you're gonna disagree. Putting Mason Rudolph in there. He's 5-4 as a starter. 62% completion rate of his passes. 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But he's 26, 27. Ben's 39, pushing 40. I don't know if it's going to make any difference at all, but I think it's time to start some changes here.
Well, I'd put him in so they can see how lousy he is. I've watched him play enough to know that every.
See, I don't think he's lousy. I think he's okay, but I don't go to lousy.
15
touchdown passes
and 10 interceptions. If Roethlisberger did that, they'd say, "What is wrong with it?" He's not an NFL quarterback. He'd be playing. He would be playing because Roethlisberger's playing so poorly.
Well,
I mean, he's not any good.
I understand all that, and I agree with you. That ratio isn't good, but still, he's 5-4 as a starter.
That's the defense. Well, look at the scores in his games.
He's been thrown in there at times, and the offensive line hasn't been much better with him than it has been with Roethlisberger. But it's time to see where they're going to go. And listen, they got a guy next door to them that they see practice every day by the name of Kenny Pickett.
How'd that work with the dude from Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are going to go for another quarterback so we can take him.
Shouldn't they be looking at Kenny Pickett?
They're going to be looking at. Oh yeah, could be. Oh sure, he's a great player. I love Pickett. Yes,
look at him.
I love Pickett.
Will they be bad enough to pick quick enough?
Yeah, because Pickett's not going to go in that early.
I think they need if you're looking at that, do they tank and go 4-13 or 5-12?
Doesn't sound like them.
No, I'm just saying tank. Not that they intentionally tank, but tank.
But there's no
for
great
the
quarterbacks
season.
coming out. Last year was the year of the great quarterbacks.
Pickett's as good as any.
Yeah,
right
so they
there.
can get a quarterback like Pickett. 4 or 5 of them in the country that in the third, fourth round, second, third.
So
fourth
what
round.
happens next year? They're surely not going to start a rookie.
No, they're going to get some. That's what they said. They're going to sign a quarterback. That's what I.
They won't
like
Albert. They will not do both.
Yeah, from another team.
I don't hear. I
That's what
disagree
I
with
see
you in this
happening.
matter. I don't see them drafting quarterback, say number 1, and then going out and spending a bunch of money and bringing another
Well, I
guy
agree
in.
with that.
That's not how they work.
But they're not going to draft the quarterback number 1.
But-
That's what I'm saying. They're going to draft somebody in the third round.
Let's just say they drafted Kenny Pickett. They will keep Mason Rudolph there until they feel Pickett's ready to play. That's my thinking.
I got you.
If
I
they
think
have
they'll go outside and get a quarterback that can play.
I'd rob a bank and go get Aaron
Because
Rodgers. So
Roethlisberger's
what do you
salary's
need here?
gone.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger's salary's going to be gone, so they're going to have
Well, it's
14
only
million.
14, don't forget.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah, but-
for a normal quarterback,
But then they have other salary issues. They already gave Watt that ton of money,
Yes.
and he's not healthy. He got beat up at times on the run plays, but he's not pushing off like he normally did. Fitzpatrick wants a big. I don't know where he's been.
You can't sign him.
I don't know where he's been.
No, he had
He
that
hasn't
great.
had an interception
No, he had
in
that
what?
great one year.
When's the last time
And
he had
he's
an
They had him
interception?
build up way bigger than he was. He's just he's just a decent player. That's all.
And Schobert's been okay, nothing great.
that's all he is
The,
too.
the other defensive back that they got from Seattle, he's not even activated.
Yeah, I know.
So, and this other thing about Najee Harris, he's been hit behind the line more than any other NFL running back.
It's going to keep happening to the
I
offensive
did hear
line.
that
So
the other day. That's not good.
Hey, the guy's taking a beating. As tough as he is, I don't
Yeah.
care how
they're just
tough
not a
you
good team.
are.
It's really simple.
Yeah.
And they're not a good team. Everybody's spoiled because everybody's seen them won forever.
You know what?
They're just not a good team.
Buffalo at Buffalo, they're the top team in the league.
You know, but also, it happens every week, George. There's like, you're thinking, how did Jets beat Tennessee? How did it happens every.
Yeah, it's crazy.
week. Pittsburgh was a fluke.
Here, now the big
It's usually home.
The big talk is about the blocked field goal.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Hayden.
yeah.
I understand it. It's something to look at. It was a 10-point turnaround. But then the other thing is this: they couldn't stop Rodgers, and they didn't Green Bay even. They missed the field goal and had a red zone miscue. Didn't they fumble the ball or something down in the red zone? I forget now. So it's still 27 points that the defense gave up. I listened to Tony Romo, and he said hard for Green Bay to run against this great Steeler defensive front. And I'm thinking, was he watching reruns of the Steel Curtain? What was he talking about? I'm not sure what his point was there.
Well, his point is wrong. That's what I'm saying. And he's wrong a lot. I mean, what can I say? Romo likes to talk as much as I do. He's wrong. And the Steelers' defense is not near.
It's average.
Yeah, it's just a decent defense. That's all it is. Yeah, no
average.
question.
Should Tomlin have gone for the onside kick with 5 minutes ago, 27
I
to
would
17?
have. I would have.
Is he trying to win or not? Last week he put it
It
on.
doesn't make a
4th and
difference.
1.
So it doesn't make a difference for the
No.
team. They're not winning.
And you know the other thing too, Al, you guys both mentioned it. Probably not stopping them if they give them the ball at the 50.
They're
They
not.
don't get the kick.
He knows that. He knows
Yeah,
that.
but I still think you have to gamble.
I'd go
when
with-
you're
I would-
losing.
Oh yeah,
I would
you
kick
got to
it.
try to win.
What's the old saying? If you're afraid,
I would do it too.
You're afraid to win.
No risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Hey, next up for the Steelers, they're home against Denver, 3-1. The Steelers favored by 1. I haven't watched Denver. so,
I have.
Can they
Yes.
run the ball?
Pittsburgh will win that game. I'm telling
Okay.
you, I'm
Denver
saying
can't-
it right here.
Will they?
Because
Will
the
they?
quarterback.
With
Because the
Bridgewater's
quarterback
out,
wins.
Bridgewater's
Will
out.
they really? How about that?
Absolutely.
So they
Okay.
have to go with what's the other?
He can't. Is it Mock or something from
Locke?
Missouri? Locke. He can't.
I didn't think Pittsburgh would score any points against them. That's why I didn't think they
Yeah,
could
I
win.
think Denver has a pretty good defense.
No, they
right?
do. That's
yeah,
why.
pretty good defense.
So Baltimore beat them up 23-7. Lamar Jackson, 316 yards passing. He is better passing this year than at any time.
He's worked
in
on it.
his
He's worked
career.
hard.
And the Ravens ran the ball at the end of the game to set a new record, the most consecutive 100 yards rushing by a team that ties the Steelers or beats the Steelers from, 50 years ago.
70s, yeah.
Next up, they take on Indy on Monday night. Cleveland 14, Minnesota 7. I watched. I heard.
Go back to that running play. See, that's what I'm big on that. Well, who cares if we have 100 yards rushing?
Yeah.
I would have hurt him. See, that's what I said. Jackson would have ran that ball,
that was
and I would have had
stupid.
10 guys pow on him like you could.
I-
So I
somebody-
think he caught him, but then he slid down pretty quick.
Yeah.
He got the 3 and
But I would have
still-
said,
No,
as
I
he slid
agree.
down,
I agree with
bang,
Albert.
bang, bang, bang.
That-
They said, okay, you want to try to get a record against us?
Yeah.
When the game's over, we'll make you pay for it.
I think that's stupid.
It is stupid.
Unprofessional.
Who cares if
take-
you have a
you
100-yard
take-
rushing game?
Well, first of all, you want to keep that quarterback healthy.
Hey,
you take
contract.
any.
Some of the linemen have it in their contract.
I
He's playing to his players. He is not worried about anybody's locker room but his own.
That's the truth. And he is. That's
okay.
what he did. He asked the players.
He's
They
lucky.
asked him.
He's lucky it didn't come back and
I
haunt
know-
him.
I
That's
told him.
all.
They asked him, and he said, absolutely. He said, I wanted to do it. It's on me. It's a record that these guys will be proud of down the road.
Yeah.
Cleveland 14, Minnesota 7. I
No.
heard someone say it was such a boring game. We're so used, I guess, to seeing these 38-34 games. I watched it. I enjoyed the defensive play. The Browns rushed for 200 yards. They controlled the football. They really didn't have to throw. The last 2 games, the Cleveland defense has given up 13 points and only 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about
It's the
can their
strength of their
defense be
team.
better?
No, that's the strength of their team. Man.
Yeah, defensive
Their
run.
Their offensive line.
Mayfield was not good Sunday.
He hasn't been good. He hasn't been good
No,
at
he
all.
was not good.
Their offensive line, their defensive, their
There's 2
strengths of their
defensive
team.
ends.
Oh,
defensive ends.
Well, Conley's healthy. He's usually
Yeah.
never healthy, but he's
If
staying on the field
if
this
he's
year.
in there in the game.
Next-
The other guy's a monster.
Yeah,
Next
Garrett
up,
is.
boy, you want to watch this game. They're at the Chargers.
Oh,
No line yet. The Chargers 28, the Raiders 14. And Justin Herbert, 3 touchdown passes. Really looks sharp. I'm impressed with the Chargers defense.
They've always been good though. They just find ways to lose. This year, at least they're finding ways to win games, and that makes they've always had nice personnel and Chargers.
Hey, who's up? Buffalo 40, Houston nothing. The Bills 3 straight wins, 2 of them shutouts, 35-0 over Houston, or was it Miami? They beat 35-0, and now 40-0 over Houston. Really, their defense. I knew their defense was okay. I didn't think it was this good. I don't care what it is in the NFL. You shut out teams. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, as I said last week, I think they're the best team in football, and I'll stay with that. I picked them to win the Super Bowl before the year. I'll stay with Buffalo. That's what I like. That's why that first game, like George said, was crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you're playing for home field in January, February. That's the idea here.
Hey, Tampa Bay 19, New England 17. It wasn't a great game, but an interesting game, a good, solid defensive game. I really thought the Tampa would go in there and put up about 34 points on New England, but Belichick had a good defensive plan. Brady, as usual, took a team down the field with the game on the line for the winning field goal, even though he didn't have a TD pass. But I don't know what you guys thought. I was really impressed with Mac Jones. 19 straight completions, didn't get rattled. Seems like he can make all the throws. And Belichick and Brady, they met After the game, when Belichick went into the Tampa locker room, they sat and talked for 20 minutes. Both had nice things to say about one another. It was good to see.
Yeah, I wasn't. I watched it. It didn't make a difference to me because it's just a football game to me.
Yeah.
But it's big for NBC because
Yeah.
it was well watched by
How about
everybody.
the rain too?
Yeah,
it
the
was
rain.
pouring, man.
But Mac Jones, what did you think about it?
Here's
thought it was
here's my
impressive.
thoughts on it.
He's a
And I'll
five-yard
say it
passer,
again.
too.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't throw the ball down the field. And when you score 17 points, that means your defense better be really good in the NFL to win a game. You know, if he could play 20 passes in a row and they scored 33 points, I said, wow, that's great. They're just keeping him under 5 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards.
But I think that was suitable for him. But I like him. I think he's going to get better. I think maybe they'll improve as the season goes along because their defense is solid. Tampa Bay, the big with Gronkowski being out, he's going to be out for several weeks. I think they should have relied a little bit more on the running of Leonard Fournette.
You missed the biggest part of that game. You can't run on Tampa. They had -1.
You can't run.
rushing.
No.
That was the
absolutely.
story of
Good
that
point,
game.
George.
No,
Good
nobody runs on them.
No,
Nobody
that,
runs.
That was the story of that game. New England likes to run the ball.
They couldn't run on him. No one run. But in the other hand, I think Tampa should have relied more on Fournette running. He seemed to have a hot hand, then they got away from him.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were in the box. I don't know how they were playing, but everything in the NFL has nothing to do with what we see. There's guys upstairs. Look how many guys are in the box.
Yeah.
Decide they can run or pass.
And it changes from week to week.
Yeah, it does.
And
Oh,
still,
yeah.
I remember Belichick has said this 100 million times. Nothing really happens till the last 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
Well, by then he'll be so far behind it won't matter. So he can see all this Belichick nonsense. All these guys coming back from COVID. He's the greatest schemer in the world. He's 1-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 1-3, but he's still a good coach.
No, he's a great
one
coach.
said he's
Great
not
coach.
a
No,
good
he's a
coach.
great
Yeah.
coach, but he ain't winning with the personality he has out there right now.
No, not right now.
Yeah, he can beat some teams.
And-
he just can't win with
And
all. of them.
listen, what happened to them has happened to a lot of teams.
Pittsburgh.
Here's what they did.
Seattle.
To keep Brady.
Yep.
They kicked the can down the road
Yes.
and came
Yep.
back to haunt him.
Yep.
It's happening now with the Steelers.
Yep.
It happened with Noel and Bradshaw.
You're going back to Flacco. Flacco got the money.
After Bradshaw left, Noel's record was under 500.
Right, I remember.
Okay.
No, you have to
Let's
have
go.
money.
Hey, here are my power rankings. I'm giving them the propers. Arizona, the only remaining undefeated team. They're number 1. Next, they have San Francisco. Have Buffalo number 2. Where are they at next? At Kansas City. That's
a
going to
great
be
game.
interesting.
That's a
That
great game.
is. Boy, good games this week.
Yeah.
Browns, San Diego.
Baltimore 3rd, Tampa Bay 4th. I have Cleveland 5th, Green Bay 6th. Green Bay's at Cincinnati. Let's see what Cincy does.
I said they'd be good this year. I remember I told you guys. I think Cleveland would be higher than me. I like Cleveland's team a lot. I
Okay,
really do.
I have them 5.
I
love
like
the-
number 3. I like him as number
I
3.
have the Chargers 7th, the Raiders 8th. I have Kansas City in there at 2-2. And here's the surprise. I really like Dallas's
look good.
offense. I have Dallas in there
They
at number
look-
10.
That was
Their
high-powered
offense is-
offensively. High-powered
Hey,
offensively.
that dude from Penn State has made a difference. Parsons on the defense.
and he helps out the other linebacker they had there, Smith.
They can throw the ball with anybody else.
Yeah.
They can
They're
throw
high-powered
that
offensively.
ball. Dak
We always
is going
like
to be
Prescott,
the
too.
comeback player.
College football, Pitt 52, Georgia Tech 21, Kenny Pickett 389 yards, 4 straight games of at least 4 touchdown passes. If he were at Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, and Notre Dame, he'd be a Heisman Trophy candidate. He should be up there. Pitt did have a better rushing game, 180 yards against a good team. But this ACC is crazy. There's good, there's bad, and there's ugly. 1 week
Every
Georgia
week.
Tech beats
Every
up
week.
North Carolina. I thought they were going to give Pitt fits, and they were terrible.
Yeah, every week you couldn't say it any better. They're all week-to-week teams, and that's what scares me about Pitt. Pitt can come out and play a lousy game against somebody at any time.
Well,
Yeah, when you lose to Western Michigan at home,
Yes.
it sticks.
Listen. The ACC is a mess. I don't know. What do we call it? A mediocre?
Mediocre, that's a word. That's what you call
Hey, I
it.
said it the other day. They're talking about take Clemson out this year's an aberration.
Right.
That league Cincinnati's in
Just as good.
every bit as
Yeah.
good.
So the Pitt's open. Then they go to Virginia Tech for a night game October 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come home to Clemson and Miami. Can they run a table? They're at Duke, North Carolina at home, Virginia at home, and at
They
Syracuse.
will not run the table. There's too many. There's 2 losses there. I see.
Let me tell
But
you,
they should be able to if they think they're a better team.
I can tell you who they will be. Miami. They stink.
Miami's bad.
Oh, And they're coached horribly, too. Last week, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, driving right down the field to win the game. He starts putting the ball in the middle for a 35-yard field.
And Clemson can't throw the ball down.
Clemson, no.
They beat BC 16-13. Had Djokovic played, I feel confident BC would have
Oh,
beaten
yeah.
them.
George called that one a long time ago.
Yeah, I have. They're good. They're still good at it. They have 3 pro linemen.
Yeah, they just that
No
quarterback
one's
just can't
talking
make a
about
play.
Wake Forest. 5-0. No one talks about it.
Yeah. The two teams I like in that are Wake Forest and Louisville. They played last week.
Yeah,
I like both
yeah.
those
Wake
teams.
Forest won it. Hey, Penn State 24, Indiana nothing. Penn State's defense looking pretty good, but the big challenge coming up there at number 3, Iowa. Iowa beat up Maryland 51-14. I watched that game. Let me tell you, I love the way Iowa plays. Hard-nosed, physical. The offensive line, I was telling George, they were blowing the Miami
That's where they
defensive
play.
front off.
That's how Iowa
Who did
plays.
Kirk Ferentz play for? Joe Moore.
Yeah,
Joe Moore, they have the Offensive Line of the Year award. Who did Joe Moore learn from? Dan Radakovich, the best line coach of all time. And I'll tell you what, you play Iowa, you better buckle up.
Yep. It looks like a 10-7 game to me. That's usually how they play.
Yeah.
That's how they play.
Hey, the Rock is rolling 75-0 over Clarion. Their 18th straight PSAC win. Quarterback Andrew Kessler, 5 first-half touchdowns. He threw for 328 yards. Backup quarterback Noah Glover, he threw for 114. Wide receiver Max Masajewski, he had 5 catches for 100 yards. Next up, here comes another beating. They're at Edinburgh.
Geez, 75-0. I like to be in one of those games where I coach. I know that at halftime you wouldn't give the oranges and start celebrating at halftime.
Get some subs.
Oh,
Tell your
jeez.
assistant, get your second
Yes.
team ready.
Grove City 38, Waynesburg nothing. Quarterback Josh S. 307 yards and a touchdown. And the Knockgrad Scott Fraser's having a terrific year. He caught 11 for 139. Cody Gustafson. They've had a Gustafson there
Yes, they
every
have.
year for 10 years now? 9 for 135. Next up for Grove City 4-1. They are home with Geneva. Westminster 3-1. They beat Till 49-14. Quarterback Cole Kanitska 165 yards and 4 touchdowns. They got a tough one coming up there at Carnegie Mellon University.
Hats off to West Minnie. They had 49 the first half.
Teal covered.
And
that
they,
game.
Yeah, they
Okay.
pulled off.
Hey, our college football power ranking, who's still at the top? Alabama, they rolled over Ole Miss. Georgia, number 2. This game surprised me, 37-0 over Arkansas. Next up, Auburn. Number 3, Iowa. 4, Cincinnati. Stopped Notre Dame's 26-game home winning streak, 24-13. It was a defensive battle. Oklahoma, number 5. Penn State, 6. Ohio State, 7. Michigan, number 8. Here's the upset special. They're at Nebraska.
That could happen for sure. I really like Ohio State now. That's the team I see taking big jumps. I really like Ohio State.
And I have BYU at 9th, 5-0, and Kentucky at number 10.
How about that?
5-0.
BYU
They
and
beat
Kentucky.
Florida.
I like hearing those two teams.
I like to see teams
I'm
make
telling
it.
you, they have 5 Pac-12 games, BYU. And this week they have Boise. I mean, geez.
Yeah,
good schedule.
I think eventually they're going into the Big 12, don't you?
No, they are. Next
Yeah,
year.
next year.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for us. We've run out of time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Summer is winding down. Don't wait for the cold air to arrive. Call Armstrong Comfort Solutions and make sure your furnace is working properly. Our NATE certified technicians service every make and model of heating systems. We install and service boilers, heat pumps, radiant heating, and ductless units. Join the Peace of Mind Club and help extend the life of your equipment. Routine maintenance helps keep your system working year-round. Benefits include scheduled yearly checkups and cleanings, priority scheduling of service calls, and no after-hours fees or surcharges. Don't wait for the cold weather. Call Armstrong Comfort Solutions today.
Your world can change in an instant. But what if this could have been avoided? With monitored smoke detectors from Guardian Protection, our 24/7 monitoring immediately alerts you and first responders when needed. Because keeping your family and home safe is our #1 priority. Life is challenging, but keeping your family safe shouldn't be. Guardian Protection. Call 1-800-PROTECT and let us protect your world.
Supercharge your internet. Only Zoom Extreme from Armstrong combines unlimited data with whole home Wi-Fi. Delivered to you at the fastest speeds possible on our fiber optic network. Zoom Extreme from Armstrong. The future is faster. The future is now.